something that's really great about my perm is that I've just gotten through the door less than 5 minutes ago, and I've been biking, and my helmet makes these little marks on my forehead, but you can't see them because fringe, and I just think that's neat. I busted out the camera today because I had a bizarre experience yesterday at the gym. So remember how I just quit my old gym because I felt that I was being mistreated there? It's nothing like that this time. It is, however, very weird. And yesterday when it happened to me, it was one of those experiences where when it happens to you in the moment, it's, you know, it's odd. It's sort of, you know, not unsettling, but it makes you question what's going on here. But you don't feel directly uncomfortable, you don't feel threatened, and it's not particularly like something where I felt that like this was a bad thing, necessarily. It just felt like a weird interaction. So what happened is that I was at the gym, I was at Fitness World, and I am doing an exercise where there's a machine that is made so that you can pull things from it. So you can put like these handles on it, and then you can pull it down towards you. I'm doing an exercise where I'm going like this, so I'm pulling a rope, going like that to strengthen my arm ceps. And I'm doing this because I'm just standing at a machine. By the way, absolutely no sign of this machine having been in use currently by another participant of the gym. I, am careful to look around to see if I am accidentally, stepping into someone else's territory, because I hate doing that at the gym or in public spaces anywhere. I would hate to, encroach on someone's gym space and accidentally use their machine if they're not finished with it. But what happens is that I'm standing, I'm pulling these ropes, I'm pulling them many times, I'm then finishing up the gig. I am done with my reps, and what you do is that you can take the rope thing off the machine, and you can replace it with a different handle, depending on what kind of exercise you're doing. So what I'm doing is I'm taking off the rope, and I'm going over, or I'm making the motion to go over to put it back in the basket with the other handles. Because what I want to do is a different exercise now where I don't need a handle, so I just need the machine wire thingy. And then as I do this, I'm removing the rope. A guy comes up to me. He doesn't tap me on the shoulder. He just turns to me. He takes the rope out of my hands, puts it back on the machine. He says something, and this is where it feels like I'm in Bizarro world, because I'm wearing AirPods. I think they're clearly visible. People can tell when you're wearing AirPods that you're not listening. I'm wearing AirPods, he's wearing full headset, like clearly also listening to music, but he's talking to me. I can't hear what he's saying. I am standing kind of petrified, looking up at him. He's a tall dude. And I don't understand what's happening, because he's taking the rope out of my hands, putting it back on the machine. I eventually, after a few seconds, I, unfreeze, take my AirPods out and say, well, what? And he goes, don't worry, it's just another rep. I'm just doing another one. I just have to do one more, and then it's yours. Huh? And what I, in hindsight, should have done is say, no, dude. No, that's not your machine. What are you doing? The weirdest kind of, I can't understand, what was he thinking here? Because I was going to put the rope back in the basket. He could have just gotten the rope out of the basket without interacting with me, gone to another machine, literally half a meter behind us. There's another machine that's not in use that he could have just put the rope on, and or alternately could have gone up to me and said, hey, excuse me, sorry, I know you're using this rope, but when you're done with it, can I use it? like a normal human being. You could have just asked. But instead, he literally just, with a smile, and that was kind of the worst part, he was just with a friendly smile going, I just need to do one more set of this, and then it's yours. Huh? And of course, because I'm a meek woman, and I kind of freeze up when I'm faced with conflict, or when, you know, strangers walk up to me and just do something out of the blue that I'm not expecting, I just kind of go, okay. And then I, you know, walk half a meter to the other machine that's next to us and use that one instead. And, you know, the weird thing is that yesterday I finished my workout, and I don't really think anything more of it while I'm doing the rest of my workout, but I am thinking, I gotta tell Alice about this. I go out to have a kebab lunch with Alice, and I tell her about this, and she also goes, that is so fucking weird. What the hell happened? And that's also where she says something interesting to me. She says that that's probably some kind of alpha male bullshit that guy's doing there. Because, you know, he's a tall guy, handsome guy, fit, obviously, and he seems like that's just a natural occurrence to him, that he can just go up to people and just take something out of their hands, and then just go, oh, don't worry, I'm just gonna use it one more time, and then it's yours again, don't worry. I think that's a thing that a lot of guys can get away with. They can just sort of walk up to women, people in general, and then just kind of take what's theirs, and then, you know, pretend that nothing's weird about that. Also, I was rationalizing this interaction right after it happened by thinking, you know, when he said, you know, I'm just gonna do one more, he said that in English, which signals to me, you know, a Dane living in Denmark, that he's a foreigner. So maybe this is just his idea of a normal interaction, that's fine, that's okay, a fine thing to do. It is not fine. Not in Denmark. It shouldn't be fine anywhere, honestly. I don't know anyone who would be just like totally okay with strangers coming up to you and doing this to you. So it was just a bizarre interaction. And yeah, Alice was also just going, what the fuck was wrong with that guy? Who does that? So it's just a weird thing, man. Anyway, I turned on the camera. I got right back from the library. I went there to go and read some stuff for my thesis. Today is January 9th. I was just reading the date off of my oven, and I was thinking just of filming this video so I can maybe compile it with other footage of things that are happening in these couple of days here. Just, you know, to sort of document what the hell's going on. It's just these kind of small things that are happening where I'm not always sure, like, yeah, who wants to really hear about this except for my closest friends, so here you go. Speaking of weird interactions, so I come home, I'm riding my bike right now. This happened, you know, however many minutes ago I started filming this video. I come down, we have like a basement floor that you enter in order to park your car, park your bike. And I pipe my bike. I park my bike, and I go over to the door and I open up the door to the elevator. I can hear there's someone behind me. There's someone walking probably toward me, but it's not certain. I don't know if they also need the elevator. So I just, open the elevator door, I close it behind me. I don't hold it open. And then I can see, just as the door is closing behind me, that someone is grabbing it and opening it again, and I already feel a little sheepish about that, because that's not very nice to do. I could have held that, door open for this guy. But then the guy, gets into the little waiting room before the elevator. I have pressed the elevator button. The elevator arrives promptly, because it's a very fast elevator. And we get inside the elevator, and I press the button for my floor. And he's holding a lot of things. Like, he's holding 2 bags and a box. And it doesn't occur to me to, I should have acted a little more quickly, and I should have just said, "Oh, which floor are you going to?" and could have pressed the button for him so he didn't have to put down his things to do that. But unfortunately, I react too slowly again, and he presses the button after a lot of, cumbersome shuffling around of things. And so we ride the elevator in silence, and I come up to my floor first, and he, as a polite older gentleman, he says, "Good day to you." And I say, "Good day to you," kind of mumbling it because I haven't heard myself speak today yet until now. And it's so, those kinds of interactions, they happen rarely, but I was just thinking afterwards, like, this guy is probably gonna think about this later. I mean, maybe he won't, but probably he'll think, "God, that woman was so rude to me. She didn't hold the door open. She was just looking at me while I was struggling with these bags, and she barely said good day to me back." And it just makes me feel very sheepish, and I feel bad. It was just not ideal. I wish I had handled that better. So to the old guy who lives on the 5th floor, I'm sorry for that. I hope that you have the rest of a good day and you don't have a bad impression of the stranger you met in the elevator, even though you probably have. So that's what's been happening. Oh, and also, I was at the library, so I was reading stuff for my thesis. By the way, because it's the beginning of January still, I had forgotten that it's still exam season, so I arrived a little too late in the morning to go to the library. I arrived around 10 a.m. That is way too late to get a spot, because every single seat in the library was taken, and by every single seat I mean like every seat that you are sort of allowed to take if you don't want to sit directly, shoulder to shoulder with a stranger. So that was bad on my part. I ended up sitting in a hallway on a sort of stool that I don't think you're really supposed to be using unless you're a waiting guest of sort. So I was just sitting there for a few hours. And that was dumb of me, and I need to set an alarm so I can get up earlier in the morning. But the thing is, I was at the library, and they have this thing at the Royal Library here in Aarhus, which is that they have a little section always where there are small exhibits, like tiny exhibits, and it's just usually very personal things. So sometimes a local artist will make, for example, like crafted items. I'm pretty sure there was like an embroidery exhibit at some point. It was very cute, very beautiful. And this time I noticed that they had put up an exhibit that was supposed to be like a personal collection of nerd memorabilia. And I read the little signage on the tiny exhibit, and it said that it was all from the same person. All of these 3 sort of sections they had. And without sounding too judgy, part of it was just like a Funko Pop collection of Star Wars figures. And it's just kind of like, was this really exhibit worthy? I'm very sorry. But was it? Another part of it was, okay, so there's a Star Wars section with all these Funko Pops. There's like Funko Pops, there's a lightsaber, and then there's an old comic book, I think. There's another section which is some anime figurines from an anime I haven't watched. And then there's an Assassin's Creed exhibit also with these, the Assassin's Creed official merch figures that cost us so much money. But I mean, they look cool, and I like Assassin's Creed. I've never understood the appeal of figures, but I understand why other people like them. And like, that's fine, that part is fine, but in the Assassin's Creed section, there's also just a stack of PS2 games. It doesn't really say a lot, does it? I mean, is that just me? You can't really just put a stack of, PS2 cassettes and call that a part of an exhibit. It doesn't really showcase anything. Like, it would have maybe looked cool if it was in a bigger collection of all other kinds of stuff, but it was literally just like 3 figurines from Assassin's Creed, and then a stack of 5 PS2 cases. And unfortunately, I didn't get a picture or video of that part because, again, the library was crowded. People were sitting around the exhibit, and I didn't want to look like a weirdo lurker at the library. So I didn't get a picture of that. But trust me, it was just a stack of PS2 games, you know, the cassettes, so to say. Okay, so I have a corrections for this video. Apparently, this video is going to be a little bigger than I initially expected, but I start to doubt myself here after looking at this exhibit, because I was thinking to myself earlier, after I'd seen the little Assassin's Creed exhibit, I was thinking, are there any Assassin's Creed games that have been released to the PS2? Because that doesn't really seem like it adds up with the timeline. Because Assassin's Creed came out in 2007, and the PlayStation 3 was already out by then. So I actually just googled it, just now, and Assassin's Creed, it has never been released to the PS2. Did you... Yeah. I really don't understand what was in that stack of discs, of cassettes, because it was obviously not PS3 cassettes, because they look very different from the PS2 cassette. They just put some random PS2 games there and call it a day. Yeah, so that was it. That was just the corrections I had to give here, because, man, I mean, this day just keeps getting weirder and weirder. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. I just compared to the other things they've exhibited in the past, I don't really think it holds up to that standard. I'm sorry. Sorry to whoever it is that has this personal collection of nerd things. Like, good for you having these things. I just don't know if it really makes sense in this context. To finish off this vlog, I have finally gotten a package from Future, which is a clothing brand, because I got something for Christmas that I wanted to return and get something else instead. So I've gotten this, and I thought I would do a little unboxing just to round off the video. And now the problem is that, look at this box. Where am I supposed to open it? It's really cool looking, by the way. It's silver. Nice. Oh, there it is. There's a tab here. Let's see if this works. It never does. Hello! Success! Oh, okay. What's really cute about this is that when you order things from Future, you get a sticker set. So you get all these little stickers. And it's very cute. I really do kind of wish that they wouldn't be so branded. I mean, of course there's a smiley there that says Nevermind. And it's not really as branded as the other ones, but like, I don't really care for stickers that are just like, you know, it just says the name of a company. It doesn't really, I don't know. It doesn't do anything for me. But they're very cute. Like, the design is so cute. That's why it's unfortunate that I can't really use them, or I don't really want to use them. So really cute that you get the stickers, even though I don't like them. Ungrateful. Anyway, the thing. First of all, a hoodie. A fluorescent hoodie. And it's got all these crepe paper. If it sounded like I said crepe paper, then that's not what I said. I said crepe paper, creepy paper. So there's a fluorescent hoodie. This is hard to do when you're holding the package. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Anyway, I wanted to get these jeans to go with it. So I want to be like just one big highlighter. So I think I'm just going to put these on and then model it a little bit, and then, yeah, here it is. So a sort of wool sweater hoodie, and it's in a super soft material. So I know I'm going to like it. And the reveal, if I can step back far enough, you can see, da-da-da-da! I think it looks so cool. I like that I'm like high visibility now. I'm gonna use this outfit in these cold, dark January days. I think it's gonna go over well on, you know, traffic I don't know, people are going to be able to see me. You're all going to see me today. Because you can't miss me in this outfit. Something that's wonderful about having large hips or whatever is that when pants fit me well here in this area, my legs are just, all pants are just too long for me because fashion industry, I guess. So I'm probably going to have to tailor in the pants at the bottom, which is not going to be a problem. So I look forward to doing that. Anyway, that was just a little vlog thing I wanted to record. So thank you for listening and have a good January. Goodbye.